Hello, my name is Dr. Kim Varnado, and I am the president of ACAP. What made you decide to run for the board? I decided 15 years ago to transition from clinical practice to academia because I wanted to improve physical therapy education. I thought I had something to contribute. I had advanced training in clinical practice, did orthopedic residency and manual fellowship training, and I thought, I really believe I have something to contribute. And when I learned more about ACAP and their mission to champion inclusion, inquiry, and innovation, I thought, wow, this is an organization that really does line up with what I want to do. And so therefore I thought it would be a good idea to run for the board. I had some experience with the board members. It was a very welcoming environment to new ideas. And so I decided to go ahead and run. What advice would you have liked for someone to have given you prior to running? I think not being afraid to speak up. It took me a little bit of time, not much, by the way, a little bit of time to, feel comfortable speaking up in board meetings because I had a different perspective. I was a new program director. I was around all these amazing, experienced educators who had been, really leading in physical therapy education. I developed a hybrid program, and it was at the time I was on the board. We were we had been granted candidacy status, and prior to that time, unless you were initially accredited, full accreditation, you weren't allowed to be a member of ACAP. So I brought that perspective to the board, and so I think initially I was a bit hesitant about speaking up, but after learning more about, in order for the organization to be able to serve all of its members, we do need the members to be represented in the leadership. So I wish I'd known that prior to running. Name one project or decision you spearheaded you're proud of. There's so many. I've been on the board now for almost 6 years, and so recruiting Dr. Celia Samora, recruiting our amazing staff. I mean, that has been one of the most probably best initiatives that I've been a part of, to actually recruit people who are just solid, amazing, just really have a heart for physical therapy education and improving our volunteers experience. I mean, that has been fantastic. When I joined the board, ACAP was going through a transition where we were basically changing the structure of how members engage with the organization. And so one thing that we definitely needed was improvement in our internal processes. And so I'm so grateful for the people that we've recruited because now those structures are in place and it runs a lot smoothly. Another initiative that I really want to talk about, that I'm excited about, is our advocacy lane. When I joined, we were still trying to figure out, and we had advocacy committee, but we were still trying to figure out how could this organization be successful and powerful in this one space. And so I'm so grateful over the years we've established a relationship with APTQI, and that organization, the full name is Alliance for Physical Therapy Quality and Innovation, under the leadership of Nikesh Patel. We've been able to partner with them in creating content to help DPT programs actually teach their students how to advocate. That's going to be coming out soon. I'm so grateful to have been a part of bringing that relationship together with ACAP. The other thing is us hiring a lobbyist. So we're currently working with Lobbyit to really push back against this new bill that's coming into place that will take effect July 1st, 2026. And so the fact that we now have a very strong advocacy agenda, I'm very grateful to have been a part of that. So I'd say recruiting great people, great staff, getting our internal structures together, and this new advocacy component. I'm so grateful to have been a part of that. What kind of leader thrives in this role? Well, I've served in three different roles: board member, secretary, and president. And I think it requires different skill sets for those different roles. I would say I could speak for the role of president since that's the role that's currently that's going to be up on the ballot. It's helpful if you have experience with business. ACAPT is a business. It is a nonprofit organization, and you have to understand how businesses work. And so I've had a chance to go through three business accelerators And prior to taking over this role, I completed two. So I understood profit and loss statements, balance sheets, and understanding the importance of, before you create something, making sure you have a market for it. So just understanding the inner workings of a business, because as a board member, you have fiduciary responsibility of the organization. And so therefore, it's helpful if you have some business experience. How has serving on the board strengthened your leadership skills? Great question. I'd say it taught me how to, especially within the first probably 6 months of me being president, I had to have very direct conversations with people that I absolutely admired and adored and loved and respected in the profession. But sometimes you've got to have, very direct conversations to make sure that you're making adequate progress towards a goal. And I would say that serving in this role has taught me how to have lots of direct conversations. And, sometimes that might not necessarily be something that you want to do, but it's something for sure that's been helpful, and it's helped me grow as a person and as a leader, not only at ACAP, but my day job as a program director at the College of St. Mary Doctor of Physical Therapy program. Describe ACAP's culture, the board's culture. Our board, I've seen it change and transition over time, and it's been really a great transition. I loved the way it was before. I admire the way it is now. I'd say the board culture, because we've got diverse representations from so many different parts of the country, even our geographic locations, our demographic, how we're, our ethnic and racial diversity. I mean, there's so much diversity on our board, and among our staff. So when ideas come forward, I feel like we have a lot of great back and forth, lots of great and different perspectives, public institutions, private institutions, research intensive institutions. We have so much information to work with, and people from different perspectives with different strengths, that by the time an idea is worked through this group, it's typically a pretty solid idea that we then are able to share with our members. So I think it's a very inclusive board. It's definitely a forward thinking board. And it's been really a pleasure and an honor to serve with them. I tell everybody, if you're thinking about joining an organization that's going to improve really how you lead, improve probably even how you go about conducting business at your respective institution, because of, I would say, the great inclusive environment and collaborative environment that we've established on the board. It's a great culture, and I would highly recommend anybody, consider running for the board. In one word, why should you apply? Because it matters. I think that's probably one of the best things about being on this board. I really feel like the work that we do matters. Is not just, your rubber stamp board, just making decisions or saying, yes to things. I mean, if an idea is bad, you're going to hear about it, and we're going to talk about it and try to figure out a way to make it better. This is a board that really does think long and hard before we make decisions. And my goodness, it's been one of the best decisions that I've made in my career as a physical therapy educator, to join ACAPT and to serve on the board. And I'm so grateful that I had this opportunity. I want to thank the members for voting for me and for giving me this opportunity and for having patience with me along the way. And I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for where ACAP is going to go in the next 10 to 20 years. And we have a great solid foundation to really take us to the next level. So, hey, if I don't like being there, I can't sell it. I absolutely love ACAP. This has been a fantastic experience. So I hope I've answered your questions. If not, feel free to reach out to me. And I'm happy to tell you more about why you should serve this amazing organization. Thank you.